Lamar Jackson is not only having an MVP season, he's having a season for the ages.
I would answer Lamar Jackson was the best player on the field Sunday night. And if you were the best player on the field, I have a very hard time blaming you for losing the game.
It's not the case with Lamar Jackson. This is the best team he's ever had. We talked about that last week. There are no excuses. If you cannot win with this team, people are going to really start wondering if you can win at all.
In Baltimore, football isn't just a game. It's a legacy. You don't come here to win pretty. You come here to bleed. This story starts in 1953, when the NFL moved a failed franchise out of Dallas and gave Baltimore a real chance at football. They called them the Colts back then, and for 30 years the Colts were everything. Then came 1984, when owner Bob Irsay made a move that would scar the city forever. In the middle of the night, 15 Mayflower trucks rolled into the Baltimore Colts facility. They packed up the franchise's equipment and history and sent each truck on a different route to Indianapolis. By sunrise, Baltimore's football team was gone, along with 30 years of memorabilia, including 2 league championships and the Super Bowl V trophy. No warning, no goodbye, just betrayal. Then in 1996, Art Modell, the owner of the Cleveland Browns, was in serious financial trouble after personally funding stadium renovations with little support from the city of Cleveland. Modell eventually struck a deal with Baltimore to relocate. The Cleveland Browns players, coaches, and front office all moved to Baltimore, thus the Ravens were born. Named by the people of Baltimore in honor of Edgar Allan Poe, whose grave lies just miles from the stadium. With a new name came new purpose. And in their very first draft, the Ravens chose 2 men who would lay the foundation for everything to come. John Ogden and Ray Lewis, 2 Hall of Famers who became the foundation of this team. In just 5 seasons, the Ravens went from relocated expansion team to one of the greatest defenses of all time. During the 2000 season, the Ravens fielded one of the most dominant defensive units that the league had ever seen. Just 165 points allowed all season, giving up 0 offensive touchdowns in the playoffs. They went all the way to Super Bowl 35 and won so decisively that there were no questions as to who the best team was. And just like that, a city that had been betrayed had now become champions once again. Then in 2008, the next chapter began. John Harbaugh took over as head coach and Joe Flacco was drafted. 12 years after the Ravens' first Super Bowl appearance, they did it again. In Super Bowl 47, the Ravens beat the San Francisco 49ers 34-31 in Ray Lewis's last ride. 2 championships in 12 years. 2 eras, 1 ruthless identity. But with this Super Bowl win, the high didn't last long. Ray Lewis eventually retired, and with his departure, so too left the heart of this team. And even though John Harbaugh stayed behind, the Ravens have struggled to recapture their identity. From 2013 to 2017, Baltimore made the playoffs just once, a crushing wild card loss to New England in 2014. The other 4 seasons, all missed chances. Late game collapses, missed field goals, heartbreak. In 2016, a last-second touchdown by Antonio Brown kept them out. In 2017, a 4th and 12 miracle by Andy Dalton knocked them out on the final day. Joe Flacco faded, the offense stalled out, but Harbaugh held the locker room together. And through the struggle, new names started to rise. Marlon Humphrey, Ronnie Stanley, young players who would one day carry the torch. But by 2018, the flame was nearly out. Baltimore wasn't chasing greatness anymore, they were just trying to hold on. And then came Lamar Jackson. Drafted in 2018, after being passed on by 31 teams, he didn't just take over, he took off. When Joe Flacco went down in 2018, Lamar Jackson stepped in, and Baltimore instantly came alive. They won 6 of their last 7 games, took the division, and made the playoffs. The offense looked different, faster, smarter, more dangerous, and the Ravens had a new identity. In 2019, Lamar Jackson exploded. He won unanimous MVP, rushed for over 1,200 yards, and had 36 passing touchdowns. The Ravens finished 14-2, they finished as the number 1 seed in the AFC, and they looked unstoppable. But in the divisional round, they were stunned by Tennessee at home. The next year in 2020, they finished the season with an 11-5 record, finishing 2nd in their division, but they fell to the Buffalo Bills. In 2021, injuries ripped them apart. In 2022, Lamar missed the stretch run again, and the Ravens fell in the wild card round. And then came 2023. A healthy Lamar, an elite defense, Zay Flowers, Roquan Smith, Kyle Hamilton, the Ravens dominated the regular season. Then they rolled into the playoffs and reached the championship game. Everything pointed to this being their year, and yet it wasn't. A home game, a winnable matchup against the Kansas City Chiefs, and still, they came up short. Year after year, they knock on the door, and year after year, the door never opens. Then came 2024. The 2024 offseason wasn't loud. It was lethal. The Baltimore Ravens signed Derrick Henry, one of the most physical backs of this era, pairing him with Lamar Jackson to create the most dangerous backfield in football today. They brought back Ronnie Stanley, locked in Roquan Smith, and extended John Harbaugh to keep the leadership intact. They reinforced the trenches and added experience to the secondary, and they didn't just build a roster, they built a Ravens roster, and it showed. In 2024, the Baltimore Ravens finished as AFC North champions with a 12-5 record. The defense finished top 5 in scoring. Derrick Henry rushed for 1,900 yards and 16 touchdowns, his best season ever. Lamar Jackson stayed healthy and led the league in total touchdowns, passer rating, and QBR. Kyle Van Noy ranked 4th in sacks this season, Roquan Smith ranked 5th in total tackles, and Marlon Humphrey ranked 3rd in interceptions. Everything was there. Toughness, momentum, coaching, and this was the most complete Ravens team in over a decade. Built to win, ready to finish. They crushed the Steelers in the wild card round of the playoffs and then went blow for blow with the Buffalo Bills in the divisional round until the clock ran out and they found themselves on the wrong side of winning. Just 2 points away from another conference championship appearance. No confetti, no Super Bowl, just silence. Now in 2025, the Ravens aren't rebuilding. They're reloading for another shot. This is the team that the Ravens have been searching for. From 2024 to 2025, Baltimore kept all of its stars. Lamar Jackson, Derrick Henry, Roquan Smith, Mark Andrews, Justin Madubuike, Kyle Hamilton, Ronnie Stanley, and Zay Flowers. They also added DeAndre Hopkins to give Lamar Jackson a true outside threat. A top 5 defense, an MVP-caliber quarterback, and the best power run game in football. Armed with the 27th pick in this year's draft, they're not done adding. They've been here before. Playoff heartbreak has followed the Ravens for over a decade. Tennessee, Buffalo, Cincinnati, Kansas City. Too many times they've walked into January with fire and walked out empty. But not this time. This year, it isn't about getting close. This year, it isn't about potential. It's about revenge. The Ravens will find redemption in 2025.